So, welcome each of us in all our respective identities and non-identities that we make an attempt to embrace as we get deeper into our practice, seeing the no self, but in our daily life, really acknowledging the variety of diversities of identities that we have in intersectionality of. May we welcome each other as we study together and practice together and come together for our Tuesday tea time. And I'm going to take a moment here and ring the bell. Letting that sound come to the ears. And allowing a couple of nice long breaths as we settle in our spot. This may be the spot we usually sit in, or maybe it's a new spot. But just coming into our body, however we can do that, or at least coming to a touch point, a place that we might feel buttocks on the cushion, feet on the floor, arms against the body, just embodying the practice. Sometimes it's nice to take a moment to look around the room, just feel your place in space and time as we come into our breathing, wherever we notice it the most, at the nostrils or the belly. Maybe sometimes it's nice to just rock back and forth a little, forward and back, side to side, just finding what seems to be a balanced position, with the head over the spinal column, the hips grounding us in a solid place. And maybe letting a couple of breaths just fill and flow out. Whether your eyes are gently closed or slightly open, letting light in. We have all of our sense doors present, of sound coming to the ears and sight coming to the eyes, internal or external. Taste to the tongue. Smell to the nostrils. And the thought door. Thoughts that come and go. As we settle into a relaxed place, being at ease. May I be at ease. And as we settle where we are, being at ease, attending to the breath or the touch point, being present with mindfulness at the forefront of our attention, being mindful of the breath rising and falling, being mindful of the place in between the inhale and the exhale. Noticing if our breath is long or short. Or rough or smooth. Coming up with your own adjectives or naming of it, or not really even naming, just being with the breath as it is, what's happening now. Allowing ourselves to be kind to ourselves, holding ourselves with ease, relaxing into the present moment. Maybe you notice sometimes that your thinking arises and we go off on a thought train of some sort, and sometimes we're totally unaware of the breath, or we're even holding our breath. And we just begin again with ease, with comfort, with kindness and non-harming to ourselves. Relaxing and being at ease, yet attentive and interested, aware, mindful awareness of what's happening in this moment. We can return to the breath, or we can be at changing objects. Whatever arises to any of the sense doors, letting the awareness be known. Breathing in feels like this. And breathing out feels like this. Letting the attention settle on the breath or what object comes into our awareness. Our attention goes to that object. noticing that it's impermanent because it arises. Our mindfulness is there, awareness is there. It leaves on its own accord. So these constant moments of arising and passing gives us an opportunity to have mindful moments strung together. And as often as we can encourage ourselves to have just enough effort to be interested in what's arising and passing, we may notice that the concentration level deepens a little. We're less likely to be invaded by sleepiness and sloth and torpor, or less invaded by anxious thoughts, or by craving, grasping at something, or by pushing something away. As we develop moment-to-moment awareness, there's less room for the intrusion of the hindrances. And it develops a deeper, calmer, sometimes even more blissful state of being. Just stopping what we're doing and being in the present moment. Whatever arises can be the object for mindfulness. Sometimes our attention might be drawn to a place in the body that's calling to us. We can notice that. Is it pleasant or unpleasant, or maybe we really can't tell, or it's confusing? But we have mindful investigation. Insight can often show us that it's not solid. It moves. We can't hang on to it. And if you find yourself getting sleepy, sometimes you can just increase your energy in your breathing a little more energetic breaths. Or if there's a lot of busyness in the mind, there might be anxiety or things that seem a little contracted in the mind, we can take a little bit longer, slower breath. And we can hold all of this in our own arms of kindness. Compassion for ourselves when we lose attention and just beginning again where we are or going back to the breath. The mind is flighty and lights on everything, hard to control. And so this gentle taming and training of the heart and mind is how we can establish more peace within ourselves. Being able to see the impermanent nature of everything arising due to conditions that are not under our control. if we find ourselves wandering, just begin again. As we keep returning to present awareness, wisdom can arise and really see clearly. Where it might be better to let things go that might not be serving us, repetitive thought patterns, and inclining toward kindness, holding ourselves gently, remembering our good deeds, finding moments of joy right here and now in the practice. That balance of equanimity so that we don't fall into extremes. And whether we're following the rising and falling of the breath, or whether we open up our awareness to a larger sphere of what's happening in the body at any of the sense doors, letting our attention be present moment to moment as best we can, and letting go of what doesn't serve us. Acknowledging ourselves when that happens, that renunciation is part of the practice, letting go. And reminding ourselves of that relaxation through the body, upright yet relaxed, attentive to the present moment. And as we're present with whatever is happening, may we kindly embrace anything that arises that might seem difficult, that we might tend to turn away from. As best we can, just turning gently, letting the heart open, being present to be with what is. Even if it's just for a little while, to touch upon something difficult, that we might hold it in kindness and try to see clearly what's being shown to us, what's being presented. It's a courageous heart that we develop. Remembering from time to time to notice that little internal smile, uplifting the heart and mind. Maybe it can even become an external smile. Appreciation for the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Appreciation for the ability to nurture awakening in this lifetime, and to see for ourselves, find our own truth around the nature of suffering and the teachings that the Buddha gave us. Seeing clearly over and over again. The impermanent nature. Conditions arise and pass away. And we realize we can't grasp what's pleasant, and we can't let go of faster what's unpleasant. It all goes in its own, due to its own conditions. We're slowly developing new pathways of kindness and compassion for ourselves. And we can expand that also to include others. Sometimes it's easier to hold within our hearts a benefactor or a being that we've benefited from, or a close friend, someone that it's easy to have kindness and compassion toward. May we hold them in our hearts, in this cauldron of our fathom-long body, boundless kindness that we can touch into. Wishing for ease and well-being for that being. Whether it's a close friend or benefactor, or maybe it's an animal being, we're just developing that muscle of kindness and letting that inner smile hold us. Uplift the heart and mind as we include others within our sphere. May you be safe and protected. May you have ease and well-being. May you have happiness and the causes of happiness. And for ourselves as practitioners of the Dharma, we know that that happiness has a deeper, more subtle meaning of non-clinging, non-grasping, letting go. Touching on that true peace. May we hold this close friend or benefactor in our hearts, that they may touch upon that peace. We can repeat one of those gentle phrases or imagine the person happy and healthy, or just have a sense of well-being that can embrace them. Maybe they're going through difficulty right now, and we can have compassion and use equanimity to hold them, wishing them to be at ease. Moment by present moment, we include others within our heart space. Maybe another friend, maybe another benefactor, maybe a neutral person. Just see who comes into the heart and mind and hold them gently. Just as I wish to be happy, I know that you also wish to be happy. May you have ease. Happiness and the causes of happiness. Touching upon joy and equanimity in our hearts to hold this being. Nurturing these positive emotional states to include others, people that we don't know. Some of them might even be people that we're uncomfortable around. Our discomfort comes up. May we hold kindness and compassion in the balance of equanimity and joy. For beings that are known and unknown, seen and unseen, realized and unrealized, all beings everywhere. May they be free from harm, safe and protected, and have ease and well-being. Letting our heart, as Sharon Salzberg refers to, be as wide as the world. This development of kindness for ourselves and others. A nurturing place that is the bottomless well of unconditional well-being, goodwill, and kindness for ourselves and others in all kinds of situations. May we touch upon it. That all beings everywhere may have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering, enmity, and danger. May they take care of themselves happily. May we take care of ourselves and others as best we can. As Pema Chodron says, whatever problems occur in your life, instead of reacting to them in the usual, habitual way, you could transform them into the path of the Bodhi heart. That is to say, you could awaken your compassionate and open heart. Breathing in with compassion, the pain of a situation and wishing that all beings could be free of it. And then breathing out, sending loving kindness to all suffering beings, including ourselves. And as Jack Kornfield says, things fall apart. But in you is the understanding that compassion is big enough to hold all of this. That the heart is big enough to hold all of this. That the Dharma is big enough to shine through empires, changes, crisis, and beauty. May all beings, seen and unseen, known and unknown, those that are below the water's surface, minute beings that we don't even know about, those that swim and crawl with 2 legs and 4 legs and multiples of legs, thousands of legs, and even all those beings inside of us, those amoebas and various living beings, the life form within us, and all those life forms outside of us that swim and fly, seen and unseen, known and unknown. May all beings everywhere have happiness and the causes of happiness and be free from suffering. As we continue developing our compassionate heart. Anicca vata sankhara upadavaya domino upakitava meruchanti te sam vipassamo sukho. All conditioned things are subject to impermanence. They arise and pass away. And seeing this clearly, knowing this directly through mindfulness, brings the greatest happiness. That greatest happiness is peace. so much for your practice.